it down. Jerry, I get that the guy is skilled. I believe he's better at his position than any other player that's coming out in the draft are at their position. I truly believe that, Skip. But that's not what they need. It's almost like, Skip, I need a house. I ain't got no shelter, but I'm going to go get a car. So you going to sleep in the car? Man, go get you a house. Jerry, it just makes no sense. Jerry always is constantly doing this because I believe Jerry would rather have the circus, fun, everybody coming to see. But, Jerry, you lose it. Did you see what happened? Your team gave up 300 yards rushing. They gave up 294. They gave up 250. It was embarrassing. But you got CeeDee Lamb. You got 3 receivers that might get you 1,000. You got Zeke. Jerry, you better go get your defensive player. Now, I don't know if you're going to trade out of that spot, but if it was me, I'm gonna get Pat Surtain. I'm gonna get a defensive guy. I'm gonna get Micah Parsons. I'm gonna get somebody that's gonna help that side of the football because I believe that is a greater need than having more entertainment on the offensive side of the football.
Okay. I will speak on Kyle Pitts in just a moment. But first, I need to speak on my man, Jerry Jones. Gerald Wayne Jones Jr. Spent thousands of hours around him because I wrote my 3 books on the Cowboys. I know him pretty well. I would go so far as to say I know him very well.
Yep.
When I read this story from Kyle Pitts yesterday, honestly, I hung my head because he's still at it. He's not just the GM in name only. He is the owner and the operator of the Dallas Cowboys to this day.
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
My team has not made it back to an NFC championship game since the 1995 season.
Yeah.
Think about that. Try to get that in your head because I can't get it to go in the back of my brain, in my psyche. It rejects the notion America's team hasn't been in an NFC championship game since the 95 season.
Right.
In large part because of this man and his involvement in this operation.
Yes.
So here we go with another draft. And he has fallen in love with another player who deserves the love.
Right.
But they're not in position to acquire him, obviously. They would have to trade up and give quarterback ransom to go get Kyle Pitts, who, as I just pointed out, Mel Kiper is now going 4th overall to the Dolphins on a trade up.
Right.
Well, okay, so I told you 2 months ago that Kyle Pitts will be the best player at his position in the draft. And I told you 2 months ago, because there was no buzz about him, that if he somehow falls to 10, which seemed not impossible at that point, because some defensive players will start to go in the late 10s. If you got 5 quarterbacks and maybe an offensive lineman or 2 go, but certainly 1 goes, and then some defensive players go, well, then you got a shot at Kyle Pitts at 10. And I told you then, and you laughed at me, if he falls in your lap at 10, I'm just taking him because he's just too good not to take. And I love Patrick Surtain. I pretty much inked him in at number 10 right now. But if Kyle Pitts falls, well, he's not going to fall because all of a sudden he's the hottest name in the draft. But what discourages me to the point of depression is that Jerry is still so actively involved in the drafting. Again, Will McClay has done a great job. And again, to Jerry's credit, in his defense, you know the stat going into last season, over the previous decade, they had drafted the 2nd most Pro Bowlers in all of football to the Kansas City Chiefs. So something's been going pretty right in the draft for Jerry and Will. I think it goes in that order because Jerry's got final say.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and he used to tell me for the books I wrote that during the early drafts with Jimmy Johnson, he would let Jimmy run it, but he would, as he always told me, coach the coach. That's what Al Davis taught him. You have to coach the coach. So Jerry still retained veto power. So he would either encourage or discourage Jimmy as players sort of fell in the draft, like Emmitt Smith started falling in the draft toward their spot. So they traded from, 21 up to 17 to catch the falling star, who was Emmitt Smith. Well, that was a pretty great move, wasn't it? You get the all-time leading rusher. Okay. Well, Jerry takes some credit for that because he's like, go, 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 go. Yeah, do it. whatever it takes. And Jimmy had his early draft chart. He was ahead of the curve on that, where he knew exactly what was a good deal to trade up, what it was required.
And plus the fact, Skip, Jimmy was coming from college. Jimmy had recruited the Emmitt Smith. He had recruited the Russell Marylands and all these guys. So
he played against him, coached against him.
So he knows that, okay, that guy's an NFL player.
Jimmy was obviously at Miami, Emmitt at Florida.
Florida, correct, yeah.
All right, so now this is to the point of this elbow rubbing side of Jerry. He likes to buddy up to the stars, and so he's now infatuated with Kyle Pitts, which I get, but it's almost like he's a super fan.
Right.
Got to meet him. Got to talk to him. I don't know if he went to Dallas. I don't know. But did they have to do it virtual?
I think it's virtual.
Did they Zoom it?
Skip,
knowing Jerry, he would send the jet for him.
You know what's going to happen. Jerry's going to be like, they're not going to draft him. He's going to be gone. And Jerry's going to tell you he thought about drafting, just like he told you about Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
He did.
I really wanted him.
He did.
He wanted Paxton Lynch.
He did.
And he wanted Johnny Manziel, but it was reported. It was reported that Steve said, "Nah, Daddy." Nah, Daddy.
I believe that story to be true.
I believe it to be true,
and
too.
Guess who they took?
They took Zach Martin,
and
go to the Hall of Fame.
He's going to go to the Hall of Fame one day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So, way to go.
Right, way to go, Steven.
So maybe Steven coaches the GM. You know, maybe he has the veto power a little bit where he can talk his dad off the ledge.
Well, Steven forgot to take Jerry's cell phone. Jerry got 2 cell phones. Steven thought he had taken one, and Jerry got the other one that called Kyle. Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
Oh, but even we're still in the backside of the pandemic.
Right.
I'm not going to be surprised if we hear that he flew Kyle Pitts to Dallas.
I mean,
is it against the rules, or I don't know. I don't know if Jerry has any rules. And in Texas right now,
there ain't no rules
I don't
in
think
Texas.
there are no rules.
There ain't no rules in Texas. There's a couple of states there are no rules.
So I would not be surprised if Jerry had Kyle Pitts over to the mansion for supper, as he calls it.
Well, Skip, there are rules that people just don't adhere to the rules. Because Georgia has been open since April of last year. Florida has been open since April of last year. So has Texas.
Okay.
There are a few states. Everybody's not like California, Skip. When they say they shut it down for real.
Okay, I got it. So it tore me up yesterday when we heard that Mel Kiper's latest mock had, and again, this is just Mel's educated guess, obviously, New England trading with Dallas to go up to 10, Dallas back to 15.
But you didn't like that.
I didn't like it because Patrick Surtain is just a stud to me because his father was a stud. And the lineage there. What I'm eye testing, I watched a lot of Alabama games. He just shuts it down.
Yeah, he's smooth. He's fluid. His transition, the way he can press, open up, change direction. Yeah, he's good.
He's
good
got
tackle.
it all. And he plays the run hard. And you just watch his body language. It's like he's got this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to see Skip, because he's in position. I wish he could, he needs to judge the ball a little better. His dad was a great judge of the ball. His dad if his ball touched his dad's hand, his dad was coming down with it. But if you watch him,
Skip, kid, he can jump now.
Yeah. But if you watch him, Skip, the way his technique, he's fundamentally sound. He can transition. He can open up. He can press. He can play off. I mean, he's more, Coach Saban like to press his corners and, try to get after the quarterback. But I love the kid, too.
But what killed me about Mel's scenario was that that left Patrick Surtain for the Eagles at 12. That would just kill me. If Patrick Surtain came back to haunt me for the next 12 years.
Because now, Skip, you pair him with Darius Slay. So you got Slay on one side, you got Surtain on the other.
No. Stay. Take Patrick.